Elizabeth Warren surging in Iowa, narrowly surpassing Joe Biden in the latest Iowa poll. Now, these numbers before Joe Biden faced those Ukraine questions. As she's rising, media chairman Steve Forbes says businesses should be worrying. Now, of course, there were stories, Steve, about Biden and the Ukraine going back to May, coming out in the Washington Post, a number of different stories, the New Yorker, New York Times, et cetera. Could this boomerang? The focus is on Trump in the past couple of days, but could it boomerang on Biden and help Liz Warren even more than what the Iowa poll showed?
It wounds Biden, and we'll see how much the media really pursues this. But the rumors are rife, and there seems to be a little bit of fire behind all this smoke. But they will try to focus it on Donald Trump. But what this underscores is Elizabeth Warren has to be taken seriously. Bernie Sanders has not caught fire. Senator Harris has been a flop so far. She's not distinguished herself. In fact, she's hurt herself. But so far, Biden has done very well in the Latino community and the African-American community. So that's why he has this still formidable lead in the overall polls. Iowa can go one way, but South Carolina, even California can go another way. California's got an early primary this time.
Now, it's hard for business folks, even Democrat business folks, to take some of Liz Warren's economic policies seriously. But as you say, they're going to have to if she could be the nominee. But that means a total restructuring, or she would like to have a total restructuring of our capitalist system, beginning with the corporate structure, right?
Yeah, when somebody like her with her background says she's a capitalist, you know that's the exact opposite of what she has in mind.
It seems like she wants to take capital out of capitalism.
Yeah, what she wants to do is she realizes socialists made a mistake in the past trying to nationalize everything. You can control these companies through excessive regulation, whether they live or die. And that's how you have control over the economy. That's what she's proposing on these ideas of having corporate charters on the federal level, higher taxation and the like. And with regulations, you can do it through these agencies without going through Congress. So even if the Republicans can control Congress, she can do immense harm with the mammoth regulatory structure we have today.
And, of course, then she has her multi-trillion-dollar, the Democrat nominees have their multi-trillion-dollar spending programs, whether it's a Green Plan or Medicare for All or whatever.
And the thing is, even if they only get part of it through, it's a huge step in the wrong direction. And it puts us right back to where we were in 2008, where we have stagnation, or what we went through in the excess regulations and taxes of the 1970s. We don't seem to learn. People have forgotten.
But, Steve, it's much more than that. I mean, you look at the Medicare for All alone, and that would double the budget, essentially double the United States budget. That would take trillions out of the private sector and give it to the government, and we know how they mess up things.
Yeah, would you rather have Jeff Bezos or Elizabeth Warren managing your money? Case closed. But in terms of the health care, what the Republicans have to do is not talk about just cost. They should lead with, this will mean less health care for you, less choice for you. Government running it, no choice. Is that what you want? People say no. And then you can bring up the cost.
There's also a different type of tax that she wants to implement. It's called a wealth tax. I would call it a confiscation tax. This is a tax on your own property that you've already paid taxes on. It would take away 2% of that a year.
Yes, and it's a form of a real control like China over the economy, because that would give the IRS, an expanded IRS, an excuse. Look at everything you buy, everything you sell, have lists of all your assets to make sure you don't own something that will put you up in the wealth category. To be able to do that each year, we know where that would lead. So, again, that's about political control, socialism without calling it socialism.
And, of course, more taxes on trades, on market trades. We should emphasize that 75% of elderly folks have some kind of savings in stock, whether it's in their 401k or whatever it is. This is really an attack on people, hardworking people, not the multimillionaires, the super rich, but people who've been very good at saving their income in a whole lifetime, working hard at it so that they could keep it for their retirement and pass it on to their kids. They're the ones who are going to suffer most at this.
Politicians cannot resist the temptation of raiding any pot of wealth they see out there. And 401ks are ripe for it, literally trillions of dollars. They'll say, we're only going to go after the rich 401ks, but you know where that ultimately leads. They're going to pick your pockets. They could even undo the Roth IRAs where you thought you were going to get your money tax-free by putting it in after-tax money contributions. They could violate that. And Obama sort of floated some of those ideas, but with Elizabeth Warren, you know they're going to go full bore.
Steve Forbes, great to see you, Steve, even if it's scary information you have to offer.